Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to another episode of FTMO Let's Go. I'm Dion, and today I'm getting into episode 6. Just to wrap things up real quick, the past 2 weeks have not been great trading weeks. This week, I ended last week on about minus 5.5%. So that means for me to achieve the verification stage, I pretty much need to make 10%, which is the first stage of the FTMO challenge. Now, I believe in myself 100%. I've made the 10%. I know that I can make it again. This time, I have so much more time. So I'm taking it real easy. I'm going to take it slow. I've been spending this week just trying to figure out what was going wrong. And the matter of the fact is, I just had a really good week on the week that I did complete the FTMO challenge. It was something like an over 70% win rate. My average win to reward ratio was pretty good. I feel like my performance was really good. Now carrying over into the next week, with that same mindset, I knew what I was capable of. And I pretty much took the way I performed that week and expected that I could keep it consistent. Now the thing is with trading, nothing is really consistent. I mean, some things you can control, for example, like your risk to reward, you can keep consistent. You can keep certain factors, but you can never keep the outcome consistent. So pretty much I came into this week and the last week thinking that, hey, I'm going to pass this in 1 week. Easy if I can make 10%. But that wasn't the case because now the market stopped trending upwards and decided to go into consolidation. Now, I reviewed the way that I traded and have been trading over my entire career, which is 10 months. And I definitely trade a lot better, I'm sure, like most people, when the market is trending either upwards or downwards. I can catch those waves really well. But once price starts consolidating, it's a little bit different. Now, it's easy to look back in hindsight and see, the market was consolidating. But when you are in the moment and before you see it begin the consolidation, you don't exactly tell yourself, it's about to start consolidating because the consolidation has not begun. So you assume things and you decide to, for me personally, I had created this bias that price is going to 0.81, which is the next profit target, which I'm aiming for. Now, I became very emotionally attached to this because I did that with my first challenge. The emotional level, or my target level, was 0.77. I knew that's where it was going to because of my analysis, and I was very confident on that. And things just lined up, and things just happened to, line up really well and go towards 7.77. So pretty much, human psychology, you do things a certain way, you get a certain result, you just expect things to keep going that way. But this time, in my head, I was like, it's going to 0.81. But it didn't. Price just started consolidating in a form of just like an equilateral triangle. It was just there was lower highs and higher lows. Now, silly me, I was so dead set on this level. I just kept buying. I kept going long, I kept going long, kept getting stopped out over and over and over again. Now, there's so many different factors which contribute into my performance not being so well. First of all, I was emotionally attached to a certain profit target, and I started assuming that that's where it was going, and without actually following what the market was actually doing, I just kept I was making up these signs, so I had the overall bias in my head, 0.81. Then when I was looking at my analysis, any little indication that I saw that price was going to make it a higher high or something, I just go away straight in buy, because in my head I was like, okay, this is where price is going, so the confluences that I'm looking for is so and so, higher highs, higher lows, break above certain levels, bull flags, anything like that. So instead of actually getting the information which the market was giving me and sort of painting the picture objectively, I was doing things very subjectively. Once I saw the right confluences, and don't get me wrong, you can have 3 or 4 confluences go in your favor, but the market can always reverse. Because when you have a certain bias, and talking from experience, when you have your own bias, you can make up, well, not exactly make up, but you can spot all kinds of confluences for it. even if they really aren't there, you can always your brain just makes things up because you're so dead set on this happening. Now, then I started setting very, very tight stop losses. And because of these stop losses, I just kept getting taken out over and over again. Now, the reason for the tight stop losses was to have a better risk to reward ratio. I saw very attractive trades like, 1 to 5, 1 to 7, 1 to 10. And even trading at a 0.5% risk, I could still take trades and pass the entire verification challenge in like one trade and two trades. So I was getting sucked into this whole like attractiveness of the very nice trades. All I was thinking about is this is what could happen, and this is where I think the price is going. The confluences are there. It's an easy trade. I'm just gonna take it. So I did that over and over again. Now, it got to a point, I think, when I was at about -3%, -2.5%, where I was taking a couple losses, and then my psychology just started playing some games with me. I started getting a little bit stressed. I started having slight frustration. It's like, why am I losing trades over and over again? I have not won a single trade this week. I kept I kept reminding myself, like, hey, just stay calm, keep every single trade is individual to another. Just because I lost 4 or 5 trades in a row, it doesn't mean that the next trade I'm gonna lose it too. That's the mindset I should have come into the markets with. But instead, I came into the markets with, okay, what trade can I take to recover all these losses? I kept basing my trades on the past trauma which I had been receiving from the market. So I was, chasing my losses, which is another big no. You don't do that. So there was just, technical analysis. I was trading with a strong bias, and I was trading subjectively. That was my first big mistake. Second of all, I was chasing my losses. Third of all, I was trading when I should not have been trading. I kept trying to readjust things and be like, oh, okay, look, I'm just gonna trade here, then and now. This is going wrong, let's change this. I was all over the place. I was no longer trading systematically. Now, I did ditch my trading plan a while ago, but I still mostly trade systematically. There's a certain set of rules which I like to follow, and as I was trading, things just started going all over the place. I started trading on the 5-minute chart. I found myself glued to the chart so much more. I could not just place a trade and walk away. I started feeling some anxiety. My emotions were all over the place. So those are just all the reasons off the top of my head as to why I did not perform so well. Now, coming into next week, well, today's Sunday, so tomorrow, next week, I've decided to take a step back completely. And over the past couple days, I've been analyzing, my trades. And I actually went back over my old trading plan, which I did keep certain aspects of when I had passed my my FTMO challenge, the first stage. And I realized I had completely lost track of how I trade, and I started going back to rookie trading methods. So I've really started thinking about things, and I can say for sure coming into next week, I will be trading how I used to. I've reset my mindset. I've wrote everything which I was doing wrong and things I don't want to do, and I'm going back to my systematic trading. Also, I've become a lot more patient. Over the past couple of days, I've just started working on my patience by looking at the charts, but not actually taking any trades. Just, trying to get a grasp of, what is the market actually doing instead of constantly just looking for entries. I've started looking at it like, okay, what's it actually doing and where can I get my best entry? So there's a very big difference between constantly scoping for entries and, taking your time to allow the market to paint a picture. And once the picture has been painted, then I can sort of see, okay, this is where I am going to take my trades. So to sum it up, the past 2 weeks have been intense, and it's been the most stressful 2 weeks of my trading over the past 10 months. because I was like just letting myself think about, oh, what if I don't pass? I did so well, and what if I fail? That's always a possibility. I just let my psychology get out of control. So next week I'm gonna take things from a very different approach. I can't tell you exactly how I will be trading because things might change. But my goals for next week is to definitely trade more systematically and going back to how I was trading during my first week. It was very calm, very controlled, very grounded. I was a lot more patient and a lot more confident. That was another big thing with the past 2 weeks. I was not very confident in my trades, hence why I kept going back to them, and I couldn't keep my eyes off my charts. When I saw price going in the wrong direction, I would not trust my stop loss, and I'd cut the trade, and then price would keep going in the other way. Like, it'd revert back into profits. Then when I'd see that, it'd make me get all emotional. Or when price was in profits, I started getting very anxious and was like, oh, I should cut it now. I should cut it now. Like I mentioned, I was trading exactly like a rookie trader would. So yeah, these past 2 weeks have taught me a lot about my trading, and I have learned quite a lot of lessons from it. So yeah, I'm coming into next week a lot more grounded, a lot more calm. I have removed the past trauma from the other trades, and I know how I'm going to approach the next few weeks. I have until the 12th of March to pass my verification challenge, and I'm currently down 5.5%. So I have about 10.5% to make over the past month and a half, something like that. I still have full faith and belief in myself because I know what I'm capable of, and I just psychologically and emotionally slipped up. That's gonna happen. I have not had to deal with a losing streak in a bit, so that shook me up. But now I know what it's like to go down 6%, and I know how it feels, and I understand that every trade is unlinked, and all that matters is just the next trade, sticking to my rules, and trading, not so based off psychologically. I'm not trading off psychological and emotional decisions anymore. I've been meditating a lot more. It's been helping. I did drop and start making my way back up. So yeah, that's what's important. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. Anyways, that's it for this week's episode of FTMO Let's Go. I've decided to change up a couple of things. So this week was mostly it was just sit here and talk to the camera. Next week, I don't think I'm going to be vlogging too much. I've decided to take a different approach to the next few weeks while I'm trying to pass this. I realized that by trying to document everything, by trying to keep on top and show you guys everything, it drains a lot of energy. It is mentally demanding. So I've decided not to be so on top of my documentation. Instead, I'm going to trade and focus just on my trading. And then at the end of the week, I'm going to try and recap it sort of like this. I just trade better when I do it. I hope you guys understand. I would love to have documented everything as it's going. But honestly, it's a little bit too much work for me to handle right now. And I don't feel like I can perform my best while I am trading and doing all that at the same time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I always try, and the whole basis of this channel, the entire point of it is the entire documentation. I'm trying to be completely transparent and as clear as I possibly can. I've never seen anyone go this deep with their documentation and their journey, and that's just what I want to do. I want to be as real as I can. I want to completely expose myself, my trades, my emotions, my psychology throughout this entire journey. So I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job, and I hope you guys are appreciating it because you get to see what goes on in the mind of a trader every single day, and the improvements, what goes up, what goes down, and it is exactly like the charts. It is up and down, up and down, up and down. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you appreciate the transparency and the realness which I'm trying to bring to the channel, because I feel like it's very important that people see the behind the scenes, which is this. My emotions, my psychology, my performance. But yeah, hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Let's come into this week strong. stick to your plans. Let's trade systematically. Let's try our best to avoid the emotional, psychological part of the trading. Like, don't get too emotional while you're trading. It just messes everything up. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and yeah, see you then.